Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be diving into the gritty supernatural world of Angel and seeing if we can recreate all the characters in modern age. So yes, I am your host Paul and welcome to Hippo Entertainment Streaming. Okay, so to begin with, we are going to, for some reason, my OBS has decided to crap out. Nope, there we go. Okay, to begin with, we are going to be using the following rules from Green Ronin. We are using the Modern Age rulebook. I mean, we kind of have to. That's where all the rules are. We'll be using the World of Lazarus. We'll be using the Companion and Threefold. So you have the core rules and that. The Companion adds a bit more expanded rules and stuff. And then there'll be a couple of background things for the World of Lazarus and Threefold. Threefold is sort of your tri-world. As you can see on there, you've got your demon realms, your cyberpunk type realms, and your fantasy realms. World of Lazarus is kind of a dystopic, based off a comic book series, so, you know, corporates rule the world, that sort of stuff. So we're going to be using a lot of the tech from World of Lazarus. That's primarily looking at Fred using the Wolfram and Hart's science division, that sort of stuff. And we'll be using the demon realms from the Threefold series. That's stuff like Pylea, the one Connor was sent to. I cannot remember what it's called. But yeah, that's the books we're using. You can go and have a look at these books. If you go to modernagerpg.com, you can find all of the books for sale here, and they are fairly well priced. I think $20 for the PDF. Sometimes you can jump to Bag of Holding, and they will have the books available there as well. So let's begin with everybody's favourite gloomy, downtrodden vampire, Angel. Angel, his concept will be leader of Angel Investigations. That's pretty basic. He was, I mean, it's called Angel Investigations. He is Angel. There will be times where Wes is in charge. That's when Angelus comes out, or if Angel is, you know, at the bottom of the ocean for a couple of years. He will be seeking redemption from the crimes he committed when he was a soulless vampire. He will be protecting and helping others, and he has an extremely high resistance and health. So I might do a little sidetrack. We will be creating them based off the basic rules, none of the advanced rules. So we're actually going to go through the 9 steps. So step 1 is concept. Step 2, he will also be a frontline fighter primarily with swords. So his concept, his abilities are accuracy. I'm going to give him 0 accuracy. It's not bad, but it's, you know, he didn't really use guns. His communication, also 0. Nobody really likes a gloomy bugger. Constitution, he'll have a base of 3. Dexterity, 2. Fighting, 2. Intelligence, 1. Perception, 2. Now these are all based on the fact that he is a vampire. His constitution is extremely high for that. He is very good at fighting. His intelligence is sort of, I mean, he's 240 years old, so, you know, quite old. He's got a lot of info. And he's fairly dexterous and has pretty high perception, mainly with his sense of smell. Vampires have an excellent sense of smell and blood sense. And his strength is 2, once again, due to being an immortal vampire. Willpower, however, is back down to 0. Okay, background, continuing with that. That was his ability, sorry. His background. Now, for the background, we have moved into the Threefold section, and we are choosing Warrior Caste. Main reason for that, he is 200 odd years old. None of the modern backgrounds would suit, but he pretty much is a warrior for good these days. So the Warrior Caste gives us a +1 to our fighting. We can choose Fighting Heavy Blades or Intelligence Tactics, and we can choose the talent Overwhelm or Tactical Awareness. We then get to roll on the dice or get to choose. I have chosen the choice one, and we can get one of these: Accuracy, Accuracy Bows, Long Hafted, Animal Handling, Constitution, Strength Might, Dexterity Riding, or Dexterity. So the choices we have gone with is he has his +1 to fighting. He has a focus Fighting Heavy Blades. He has the talent Overwhelm. And he gets the benefit of 1 more on his constitution. Okay, his profession. I would choose him as a professional gloomer because, he's all gloomy and brooding. So, professional brooder, I mean. But I've chosen back in the threefold cultist guard. This one here is you protect a secret society, be it a true religious cult or a political organization. This is basically he protects humans from vampires and from the supernatural. So he's not protecting a secret society, he is protecting humans from the secret society. Kind of fits. This gives him a choice of fighting, brawling, or constitution stamina, and his talent is protect or striking style. It'll also give him a starting health of 20 plus his constitution and a resources of 2. For our choices, constitution stamina. Our talent will be protect, our health will be 20 plus constitution, and our resources 2. Okay, his drive. Now, the drive is what fuels you, what makes you want to go adventuring, all that sort of stuff. So he is actually a savior. You see the evil thrust upon people, and you want to deliver them from it. That is pretty much Angel to a T. So that will give him a choice of talent, command, or inspire, and he can choose 3 of health, relationship, or resources. So our choices will be inspire for our talent. Our improvement will be health and resources. Now we can have a look at his resources. He gets 2 for having the profession of which is a lower one, but he gets +2 for having his background of upper. Now the way it works, upper is usually sitting at 6, but it is 2 steps above lower, which is 2. So instead of going to 6, what you do is every level it is above, you get +1 on your resources. As upper is 2 steps from lower, he gets a +2 to his resources. He then gets 2 for his drive, giving him a total of 6 resources. And his equipment, he has to have black street clothes and a black coat. Could be a trench coat or a dress coat or anything, as long as it's black, brooding, and dark. And he carries a long sword. Okay, his derived statistics. His health is going to be sitting at 20 for his profession, +4 for his constitution, and 5 for his drive, giving us a total of 29 health. His defense is going to be 12. This is based on 10 plus his 2 dexterity. His toughness is 4. Now remember, toughness will be doing stun, is basically a damage reduction on stun damage, as well as a damage reduction on impact damage. It doesn't take away ballistic unless you are in cinematic mode, but it basically means in melee combat, which is the primary form of combat in this sort of gritty world, he gets a +4 damage reduction, and that is based on his constitution. And his speed is the same as defense, 12, which is 10 plus his dexterity. You can have other people having different speeds, such as if you take a character with bionic legs, that can be 12 plus dexterity. If you take a character that's small, that can be 8 plus dexterity, but for a standard human, it is 10 plus dex. Okay, goals, ties, and relationships. His goal is redemption and protection of the innocent. His ties is Angel Investigations. He is the leader, so he starts with rank 3 in that. His relationship, he has a relationship with the powers that be. May not be a good one, but they kind of look out for him. They send him Doyle to begin with, and when Doyle dies, they send him Cordelia. So, they're out there, they've got his back. And then the final part of Angel is his name and description, which his name is Angel. He can go under Angelus if he has his soul removed. He doesn't usually go under Liam, which was his birth name, but yeah, he sticks with Angel. His description, he was born Liam in 1727 in Ireland. He was sired by Darla in 1753 and taken the name Angelus and was dubbed the Scourge of Europe, mainly because he was so evil. He's pretty much, the vampire hunters were formed to hunt him, the most evil vampire ever. He, however, killed a member of a clan who cursed him with his soul. They basically took his soul out of hell, put it back into his body, and now he is living eternally with the guilt of all the countless crimes he committed while a vampire. And finally, the preferred stunts, he has double team. This will help him work with the likes of GUNN. You can choose one ally to immediately make an attack on your target. Sorry, who must be within range and sight of the ally. Your ally must have a loaded missile weapon to attack at range, so a loaded crossbow or a pistol with ammo in it, that sort of stuff. This effectively means he can get someone next to him to make an extra strike. And he chooses the blockade, which is move up to 3 yards to position yourself between a foe and something or someone else. Until the beginning of your next turn, that foe must succeed at a minor action, dexterity, acrobatics, or strength might versus your defense to reach whoever you are protecting. So, we can actually go over and have a look at Angel's character stats. His distinctive features is brooding, and sometimes he is a puppet. Well, reason I put that in is I love Smile Time. It is the best episode you can ever see. It's just awesome, and he was a puppet in it. He is name Angel, age 240. He's the warrior caste, which gives him the social class of upper. His profession is cultist guard. His drive is savior. You can see he has constitution stamina, so his constitution is 4. Any checks for stamina give him a +2 on it. He has fighting heavy blades, so his fighting is 3, and when using a heavy blade, it goes up to 5. Because we chose an extra boost on fighting, actually we chose the extra boost on constitution, we don't get an extra focus. He starts off with the longsword, which is an attack roll of +5, doing 2d6 +2 wounding damage. And these are his talents. So when you make an attack with a melee weapon, you can take up to a -3 penalty on your attack roll to receive the corresponding bonus to your damage roll. This is very good for someone like Angel who has a +5. It means he can still get a +2 to his attack roll, and his damage is going to be sitting at 2d6 +5, giving him a minimum of 7 and a maximum of, I was going to say 15, no, a maximum of 17. I had a total brain fart then. There are his relationships and social ties. They are the preferred stunts. We have his character background and his resources. So that is Angel as a goodie. And Jealous, you could kind of change it a bit. I would take a few different things like intelligence down 1 to probably put it into fighting. But yeah. And Jealous, you can make a whole new character for that. So let's move on. Okay, Cordelia. So, Cordelia's concept is she is an aspiring actor. She is the secretary and the heart of Angel Investigations. She is also a channel for the powers that be, and at the end of the series she became part demon, giving her access to magic. To begin with, I haven't given her any magic. However, you can start giving her, as she levels up, some psychic abilities. I'd probably look at the divination tree, that can help quite a bit, or the empathy tree, that sort of stuff. Alright, what else does she have? She is an experienced demon hunter. So, yeah, she and Sunny High, when she was working with, well, not working with, but when she was with Buffy and Xander and Willow, she learned all about vampires and demons and actually became quite knowledgeable on them, and has since become quite good at becoming an actual fully fledged demon hunter and demon fighter. Okay, her abilities. I'm going to give her an accuracy of 2, communication of 3, constitution 0, dex of 3, fighting 0, intelligence 0, perception 2, and strength of 0. Is that actually correct? Let's see. 3 and 3 is 6. Oh, she's meant to have 2 more somewhere. I may not have written it in properly. I believe she had a bit more. Actually, I don't know. But they only equal 10. She should have 2 more. I will check on the main part soon. Oh, sorry. That's where the other 2 is. I always forget there's 9 stats in there, which is willpower of 2. That's where the last 2 went. Silly me. Anyway, that is her abilities. Her background. I'm going to give her an attractor. This is once again from the threefold book. So ever since you were little, there was something about you that refused to let you live an average life. Maybe it's odd luck, maybe it's your eccentric but charismatic demeanor. Mysterious exchange student sought you out, there was a strange accident near your house, or your new neighbours came from a country you never heard of. Well, her new neighbour was Buffy Summers, who ended up being a vampire hunter, and pretty much a vampire, well, a hellgate opened up underneath Sunnydale High, blowing the town to pieces. This will give her an ability of 1 extra willpower, and the focus of either perception, empathy, or willpower self-discipline, the talents of attractive or quick reflexes, and we can see the benefits we choose here. So what have I chosen for her background? Well, we get the 1 willpower. That puts us up to 3. We get perception empathy. She could really feel what people were feeling. She has the talent attractiveness, or attractive. This basically gives her bonuses in communication tests. And she has communication persuasion as her primary benefit. So her profession. She is an artist, and acting is a form of art, so she's going to be an actor. Your life is about expression, whether it is sharing your sense of beauty, or expressing pain or outrage in forms others can't understand. You may or may not make a living at art, but you need to express yourself through it. This will give us the choice of intelligence art or communication expression, and the talent of artistry or performance. Our health will be 15 plus our constitution, and our resources 2. Okay, the choices we made is communication expression, and the talent of performance, and 15 plus constitution health, with our final resources of 2. Now, Cordelia's drive. Her drive is aesthetic. Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death. Not you, though, because you aim to squeeze every drop of juice out of your limited time in this world. You encourage your friends to join you, although you're willing to go off on your own if none of them do. So this gives us the choice of the talent, attractive, or party animal, and the improvement to resources, relationship, or reputation. So we choose attractive. It's the second time we've chosen that, which means we'll be an expert in it. And we get a resource and relationship. So the resources Cordelia has. Her resources are 2 for her profession, plus 1 for being a background of middle. Remember, Angel was upper, so he could up that to 2. And then plus 2 for your drive, giving Cordelia a total of 5. And then her equipment, she usually wore casual and smart street clothes, and she always carried a stake, just in case she met that rogue vampire. Right, her derived statistics. Health is 15. She gets no other bonuses to that, so that's her start in health. Her defense is 13. She had 13 dexterity, so 10 plus 3 is 13. Her toughness is 0. No constitution. It means if she gets hit, she's taken the full damage. And her speed is 13. Okay, goals, ties, and relationships. Her goal is to get her own TV show. She did in an alternate universe that the powers that be used to show what would happen if she never met Angel. She chose to go down the timeline of meeting Angel, which meant she became half demon, but that was her choosing point. She could get her own TV show or become a demon. In the end, she chose becoming a half demon to get the powers to be a helper. She has the ties of Angel investigation, and she has a very good relationship with the powers that be. So we go to the final step, which is her name and description. Her name is Cordelia Chase. Her description: she attended Sunnydale High School as a teacher, where she was a popular cheerleader known for her standoffish queen bee personality and attitude. After graduating high school, Cordelia moved to Los Angeles, where she joined the supernatural detective agency Angel Investigations, gained the power of visions. These visions gave Cordelia great insight to the pain of others. stripping her of her selfishness and forcing her into a dedicated and powerful warrior fight against evil. And her favourite stunts are sway the crowd. Your words affect one additional person of your choice. You may choose the stunt multiple times per roll, but if someone opposes your test, you can't expend the effort to anyone with a higher ability than the original target. Okay, we go to Cordelia Chase. So she was around 20 when she hit LA. Her background is a tractor, social class middle, profession is I didn't change those, but her profession and drive are slightly different. Accuracy 2, communication expression and persuasion. She has the empathy of 2 and an extra on her willpower. This is primarily to let her start using psychic powers and magic at a later stage. She was an expert attractor. You can use the making an entrance social stunt a second time at any point in the encounter. Usually the stunt, usually the making an entrance social stunt is reserved for once per encounter. This time you can actually use it a second time halfway through. You can also perform the flirt social stunt for 3 SP instead of its normal cost, and the target of your effects can have a neutral attitude instead of open. So you can flirt with people who are not necessarily friendly with you, and it's easier to do. And then you have novice performing acting. You may perform the from the heart and sway the crowd stunts for 1 SP less than their normal cost. So instead of sway the crowd being 2, it is actually only 1. I will save that. And you can see speed 13, defense 13, toughness 0, armor 0. Nobody actually wears body armor in this TV show. It's her character, her resources, everything's fully complete for you. So we go from Cordelia to Wesley. Okay, his concept is he studied with the Watchers Council. So in the Buffy Angel lore, the Watchers Council basically are a group of vampire hunters, kind of, who just they send a watcher over to watch over and guide the whoever is the local slayer or the current slayer. I think there can only ever be one slayer. So yeah, they send a watcher to guide the current slayer. When Rupert Giles quit after receiving 2 slayers, because there was a bit of a hiccup there, I believe Buffy died and Faith moved in. Was it Hope moved in? Buffy died and another vampire slayer came out. Rupert quits. They sent Wesley in as the current watcher. He, after leaving the Watchers Council, he became a rogue demon hunter. He is pretty skilled with magic, and he is skilled with pistols and shotguns. Okay, his ability, accuracy 2. This shows his ability to use pistols. You do see in a couple of episodes he is a really good marksman. He's actually able to hit tiny little bullets on a tiny little area on the back of a moving demon by ricocheting the bullet while flying through midair. Very heroic, very awesome. His communication is 0, constitution 0, dexterity 2, fighting 0, intelligence 3, perception 2, strength 0, and willpower 3. I remembered willpower this time. So this shows his affinity with magic, his lore and all the studying he has done, and his accuracy and perception, as well as his ability to dodge. His background, we are going from the companion book, is legacy. You're heir to the long line of powerful sorcerers, gothic princesses, or rich inventors. Fantastical magic, a creepy mystical inheritance, or the latest cutting-edge technology defines your early life. This will be him growing up with his father as part of the Watchers Council, so he sort of grew up always knowing about the demon lore, magic. I believe he tried to steal a magic book from his father and resurrect a pigeon or a bird of some sort as a kid. Kind of mucked up the necromantic spells and got, well, punished for it. This is going to give him the ability +1 communication. He can choose communication leadership or intelligence, history, or occultism. And his talent is affluent or theory and practice, or he can choose an arcane power. And the benefits are accuracy, intelligence, or dexterity, as well as a couple of focuses. So the choices we've gone with is his communication, intelligence occultism. This is his studying and his learning how to, study the occult, demon lore, different demon realms, all that sort of stuff, as well as magic. He is going to have the talent of pyrokinesis. This is based on when he was fighting the Warlock in the very last episode. He was actually able to summon enough raw power to do a flame blast that done quite a bit of damage to a Warlock. And this was a mythic demon Warlock, so fairly powerful fire magic. He is going to have a benefit of +1 intelligence. Okay, his profession. He is a scholar. Now, there are two different scholars. One is an Earth-based scholar, which is found... I'm not 100% sure where it is found. It might be found in the Lazarus book. However, this particular scholar is going to be an unearthly scholar, studying the demon realms and that sort of stuff. We are going to get the focus of intelligence research, or any one intelligence knowledge focus, and we're going to have the talents of contacts or knowledge, resources 8, and health of 15. Okay, so we're going to choose intelligence theology. This helps study other religions and just work with his demon lore. The talent of knowledge. And the health of 15 plus constitution, with the resources of 8. So to begin with, he was pretty poor, but by the end of it, he had access to a lot of money. So his drive is going to be penitent. You screwed up. Maybe you didn't mean to, or maybe you did and you should have known better. Whatever the case, you're trying to make it right. So he's screwed up a lot in his life. The first one was trying to resurrect a dead critter and failing at that. Then he kind of failed at the Watchers Council, and they had to reinstate Rupert, making him become a rogue demon hunter. He failed a lot in his life. Okay, that gives us the options of living on the fringe, or theory and practice, and an improvement to health, membership, or relationship. So we are going to choose living on the fringe. Being a rogue demon hunter, that will give him the ability to remain undetected as often as he can. And the improvement to health and relationship. Doesn't have high constitution, which means he'll be relying on his hit points more often. Okay, his resources and equipment. His resources is going to start off with 8. He had the upper for both of them, so that gives him 8. His equipment is fine clothes, and he carries 2 Colt 45 pistols. His derived statistics will be 15 for his profession, +5 for his drive, giving him a total of 20 hit points at level 1. His defense will be 12, toughness 0, and speed 12. And his goals, ties, and relationships. Don't know why that bounced the other way, but his goals will be to hunt and kill evil. His ties will be angel investigations, a big bonus on that, and a negative for the Watchers Council. They kind of kicked him out. And he'll have a relationship with Wolfram and Hart. He became one of the top attorneys there by the end of it, as well as he had a fling with the head chick from Wolfram and Hart. So, his name and description. His name is Wesley Wyndham Price. Very, very British. His description. A former Watcher, Wesley was sent to Sunnydale by the Watchers Council to serve as a replacement Watcher after Rupert Giles was fired. After his dismissal from the Watchers Council, Wesley styled himself as a rogue demon hunter, eventually making his way to Los Angeles, where he joined Angel Investigations. And his preferred stunts will be lightning attack, make a second attack against the same target or a different one within range. You must have a loaded missile weapon to make it. This shows that he has 2 pistols, so he can shoot at 2 different targets at once. And then called shot. You target an exposed part of your opponent's body. This attack damage becomes penetrating. This is only for using with firearms, so this basically lets him bypass most armor. A lot of demons have very heavy armor, and this will just help with that. Okay. We are going to have Mr. Wesley Wyndham Price. His background was Watchers Council, social class middle, and once again, I didn't put those two in. Who else didn't I put it in? I put it in for that one, I put it in for that one. Okay, so I missed Cordelia and Wesley. Oh well. Speed of 12, defense of 12. His talents. He had Novice of Knowledge. When you make a successful intelligence test with the knowledge focus, which is occultism and theology, the GM should give you an extra piece of information on the topic. And then Novice, Living on the Fringe. Other characters suffer a penalty of -2 to any test to find information about you or your activities. This sort of shows him going rogue as well as the secretness of the Watchers Council. And then he had Novice Pyrokinetics, so this is a psychic spell. Now, in here, you may notice I have his force, but I don't actually have magic points. I'm basing this on the fact that this is a psychic ability, and I'm going to be using the alternate rules for psychic, which is you run a test. So the test, that target number used to be 9, and what you do is you take its target 9 plus the amount of mana points it costs, add that together, and if you can roll higher than that on a willpower save, then you're able to cast the spell. If not, it backfires and you take, I think it's psychic damage, it could be wounding damage. This just, it means you don't have to worry about another form of resources such as mana or anything like that. You can just, hiff magic around. The first one is Ignite Fire. It is an acrobatics versus force, so you set a flammable object on fire within line of sight. I've put this in as weapon. Ignite Fire. There is no attack roll, there is the target number roll, and then they must make a dexterity acrobatics save versus his force of 13. And if they fail, they take 2d6 fire damage plus 1d6 per round until they can extinguish it. Then he has Shape Fire. This is a major action to do, same target number, 10, and there is no test on that. You can increase the size and intensity of an existing flame. So that goes, it doesn't use this one, it uses that. So that's the first point of damage. Then every round they take that, and if he shapes the fire, it can go up by 1 level per round. So that becomes 2d6, then up and up and up until you're doing 3d6 damage per turn, unless they put it out. And yeah, that is him. He has resources 8. They are his 2 preferred stunts. So that is Mr. Wesley Wyndham Price. Now, as you saw before, the next one is Charles Gunn. I'm doing this in order of when they joined Angel Investigation. So Wes joined in about episode 10 of season 1. Gunn, I think, joined at the end of season 1. His concept. He was a gang leader. He was pretty much rose up the ranks of an LA street gang that went into Vampire Hunter, and he pretty much became the leader of it. He is also a vampire hunter. He is a skilled fighter and tactician, primarily dealing melee damage, but he also could build his own stake launchers, which are effectively a crossbow. His abilities will be Accuracy 0, Communication 0, Constitution 2, Dexterity 2, Fighting 3, Intelligence 2, Perception 1, Strength 2, Willpower 0. Okay, his background, I'm going to give him a military background. I believe this is from the core rulebook. It could be from the Lazarus book. Okay, you grew up a military brat. You're either dependent on family members in the military service or you live closely to it. He didn't so much grow up as a military brat. He grew up in a street gang that relied heavily on fighting. So I'm calling the street gang a form of military. And that'll give him +1 fighting, accuracy pistols or intelligence tactics, and 1 combat style of his choice or observation, as well as any of these ones here. I believe I chose fighter and brawling. Let's see. +1 to fighting, intelligence tactics. He's going to choose the striking style, and oh no, +1 constitution. Excellent. His profession is he's a professional brawler. There we go. Fighting, brawling. Now, this one, there was a bit of a mistake. Those two there should be swapped. So they're actually the focuses, they are the talents. It's the only mistake that I've found in the book so far. But there was always an opportunity for people willing and able to knock some heads together. It's not a fancy fight, it's certainly not fair, but you'd much rather have a reputation for winning and surviving than anything else. That's pretty much GUNN to a point. Okay, the talent is fighting brawling or fighting grappling, and the focus is grappling style or striking style, and you get a health of 20 plus constitution, but no resources. So I'm going to choose fighting brawling. Choose striking style, second choice of that, so that puts us up to expert. Health is 20 plus constitution, and no resources. Okay, his drive. He is a survivor. Life is hard, but you are going to make it no matter what. You have already had to struggle to survive an early life, or you are prepared for the struggle you know is coming. This shows him living on the streets in LA as a gang member. Okay, this gives the talent of living on the edge or tactical awareness, and an improvement to health, reputation, or resources. So we're going to choose tactical awareness and health and reputation. This gives us the resources of 0 for his profession, plus 1 for his background of lower, for a total of 1. He does not have a lot of resources. He'll be relying primarily on, well, sucking up to Wesley or making his own stuff. Okay, and his equipment is general street clothes. He has a stake launcher, which is a crossbow firing stakes, and he carries a normal stake, but primarily he is reliant on his hands. Okay, derived statistics is going to be a health of 20 for his profession, 3 for his constitution, 5 drive, giving him 28. 1 less than Angel, but that's pretty good for a human. His defense is 12 for dexterity, toughness 3, and speed of 12. Goals, ties, and relationships. His goal is to kill all vampires. His ties is Angel Investigations and his LA Street Gang connection. And his relationship, he actually had quite a relationship with a group of social workers who are helping getting kids off the street. Okay, name and description. His name is Charles Gunn. His description: Gunn was born in the Badlands, a section of inner city LA where the police would not go, and he looked after his sister Alona from a very young age. Although he had a few brushes with law, he acted as kind of an urban Robin Hood to keep the streets in his neighborhood safe. In his teen, Gunn rose through the ranks to become the leader of a gang of street fighters who protect their turf from vampires using guerrilla tactics. And his preferred stunts will be knock prone. You knock your enemy prone. This shows him basically knocking the enemy prone and then, or knocking the vampire down and then staking it. And bind weapon. You and your opponent make an opposed melee roll. If you win, your opponent's next melee attack against you automatically misses. Just going to grab a bit of water. My throat's a bit dry. Okay, let's have a look at Mr. Gunn. So he was an expert striking style. When you attack with your fists, you inflict 1d6 damage instead of 1d3. And you can perform the knock prone stunt for 1 SP when using your fists or brawling aids. That's why we chose knock prone as his preferred stunt. It's usually 2, it's now 1. And novice tactical awareness. On foot, you can make the melee attack or range attack anytime in your movement. Usually when you are moving, you have to move then attack, or attack then move. This one, you can move half your distance, then attack, then move again. Still only get 1 full attack move, but you can attack during your movement. Makes it very, very good for guerrilla tactics. Okay, he's going to have a stake that does +4 for his attack roll, and it does 1d6 + 1. It's effectively a sharpened claw. He has the stake launcher, which will be +0. He doesn't have much accuracy, but it does hit very well. 1d6 + 1 impact damage at 50 yards. And his unarmed striking, which is his martial arts prowess, he is hitting at +6, doing 1d6 + 2. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a street fighter, that's pretty good. Usually the damage will be 1d3. Okay, only 1 resource. He's a bit slow, a bit poor, but he's a street. So, last person in the core group is Fred. So her concept, she is a scientific expertise. She is a programming expert, she is multilingual, and she is a skilled survivalist. So scientific expertise, that shows her studying at university for her physics degree. Her programming expertise, she was very good with computers. Multilingual is her ability to read languages. She was able to pretty much study and new language very, very fast. And skilled survivalist, she survived 5 years in Pylea, where humans are pretty much a slave race and, freely butchered whenever. She was able to survive in the wilderness on her own. Her abilities: accuracy 0, communication 1, constitution 2. This just shows her survival ability. Dexterity 2, fighting 0, intelligence 3, perception 2, strength 0, willpower 2. Her background is going to be academic. She was studying before she got sucked into a portal to go to Pylea. This is going to give her a communication +1 or intelligence research or resource, intelligence history, perception, willpower self-discipline, a focus of anything you want, and +1 willpower. And we get an automatic 1 on intelligence focus of whatever we want, and knowledge or linguistics. So what I've chosen is 1 on intelligence physics, this shows her being a physics student, linguists, this shows her being multilingual, and intelligence security. There is a reason for that, we'll get into it soon. I could have chosen intelligence research, but I think intelligence security is a bit better. I'll get into soon. Her profession is a technician, so you fix things, whether you're a mechanic, maintenance technician, or even work in information technologies. Okay, this gives her the focus of intelligence, computers, electronic engineering or tinkering, the talent expertise, hacking or maker, with resources 4 and health of 14. This just shows her ability to basically build all the weapons and the technology that Angel Investigation uses to destroy demons. So the choices we've gone with is intelligence computers. Talent is hacker. That is why we went with security. You need to get hacker and computers to be... you need intelligence computers and intelligence security to get the talent hacker. Talent hacker will give us a really good bonus, which will pretty much mean we don't need the research talent. Health of 15 plus constitution, and a resources of 4. Okay, her drive will be groundbreaker. So this one is from the Lazarus book. They say there's nothing new under the sun, but you couldn't disagree more. You want to be the first to achieve or discover something new. This pretty much fits into her ability to just design new tech. She ran the Wolfram and Hart Science Division. Don't really know why a law firm ever needed a science division, but they did. And this will give her the talent, expertise, knowledge or maker, as well as the improvement, health, reputation, resources. So we're going to choose expertise and health and resources. Okay, her resource and equipment. Resources is 4 for profession, lower, +1 to the background of middle, +2 for her drive, giving her a 7 total. Is pretty good, not quite up to Wesley, but still pretty good. And her equipment will be casual clothes and a cross. Derived statistics. Okay, her health is going to be 15 for her profession, 5 for her drive, +2 for constitution, giving her a total of 2. Her defense is 12, toughness 2, and speed of 12. Just need another drink. Okay, so her goals, ties, and relationships. Her goal is to understand the universe. Her ties are with Angel Investigations, and her relationship is with the UCLA Science Department. Okay, her name and description. Name is Winifred Burkle. She goes under the name Fred, but her actual name is Winifred. Her description. Born in Texas, Fred moved to LA to attend graduate school at UCLA. Until one day when her physics professor used dark magic to banish her to the dimension where she spent 5 years as a human slave. In 2001, Fred was finally saved and returned to Earth, where she joined Angel Investigations, adding her smarts and scientific knowledge Alright. One more is her preferred stunts is a stitch in time. You put effort into doing things right the first time, setting yourself up for more success later. You gain +1 SP on your next test relating to this one during an encounter, as long as it was part of an advanced test. So this is going to help her do a lot of research, hacking, that sort of stuff for advanced tech. And then high-tech hustle. With an injection of technobabble or a quick mod to device, you sidestep one minor complication impeding your current goal, or give yourself the ability to perform one task you otherwise wouldn't in the current situation. So this just lets her use all her techno knowledge to just get into and out of trouble a lot. And finally, Winifred Burkle. Her background is academic, social class middle, proficient technical, drive groundbreaker. You can see her intelligence is computers, security, and physics being the knowledge test. Resources 7, that sort of stuff. Now, this is why we wanted expertise programming. Select an ability focus you know and can choose a narrower task of field. You gain a +1 bonus for this ability test by the narrower field. So that is programming. Okay, anything to do with programming computers, she can do massive work on it. That counts hacking, all that sort of stuff. Then novice hacking. When you succeed in intelligence cryptography or intelligence security test, which he has that, GM can provide you with a little bit of extra information on the subject. Also, you can use intelligence computers focus instead of communications investigation and intelligence research if the investigation you seek can be found online and if you have the means to connect. Plus novice, she can learn another language. So this will mean instead of having to use communication investigation or intelligence research, as long as she has access to the internet, she can find the information out. And she has her trusty little crossbow. She does move to pistols later on, but for now it is the crossbow. So there we go. That is the Scooby Gang from Angel Investigations. All done using the modern age set. So you can see why I like this particular set, or this particular rule book, Modern Age. It's just, you are not locked into any particular class or anything like that. You can pretty much free build any type of character you want. Level up is fairly easy. When you level up, you choose a skill and you get +1 on it. So say we were leveling up Winifred. At the next level, she can move. Sorry, that is Gun. We'll go with Gun. Say Gun wants to actually get a bit more damage through. He can choose to increase that to 3. You can then choose a focus, which say, I don't know, he wanted to go into accuracy crossbows. That'll give him a +2 on his crossbow launcher. And then you choose a talent specialization or extraordinary power. So this could give Wesley at level 2 the ability to become an expert in pyrokinesis. Or you could give Cordelia at level 2 a psychic ability, ESP or divination or shielding or healing. He actually was able to do spiritual and physical healing at level partway through the series once you became a demon. You know, you could make Angel a bit better at communicating, a bit less broody, or put his constitution up a bit. So level up's very, very, very basic. But that is the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys actually enjoyed this, and next week we will be looking at Serenity. Thank you and farewell.